Welcome to another Ziva Math video. In this video, we will teach you how to convert fractions to decimals when the resulting decimal is repeating. Let's get to our examples. To convert a fraction into a decimal, you divide the numerator by the denominator. In this example, we want to convert 5/9 into a decimal. The 5 is the numerator, so it goes on the inside. The 9 is the denominator, so it goes on the outside. Our first step will be to divide 5 by 9. We can't do that as the 5 is smaller than the 9, so we'll show the decimal and a 0. This decimal and 0 don't change the value of 5. Now we're dividing 50 by 9. But first, let's make sure that we have the decimal in the correct place in our quotient by bringing it straight up. We're going to divide 50 by 9, which is 5. Notice that I've put the 5 over the 0 in my dividend as it was 50 that we divided, and I've put a 0 in front of the decimal. 50 divided by 9 is 5. 5 times 9 is 45, and when we subtract, we get 5. We want to keep going, so we're going to add another 0, which we're going to bring straight down, and now we have 50 divided by 9 again. 50 divided by 9 is 5. 5 times 9 is 45. When we subtract, we get 5. And if we wanted to keep going, we would add another 0, which we would bring down. And here again, we're going to have 50 divided by 9. So the 5 is just going to be repeating in our quotient. 5/9 as a decimal is going to be a repeating decimal, and we'll show our conversion as being 5/10, and we'll put the bar over the 5, indicating that that 5 is repeating. 5/9 equals 0.5 repeating. In this example, we're going to convert 10/11 into a decimal. We'll do that by dividing the numerator by the denominator, which means the 10 will be on the inside and 11 on the outside. We'll start by dividing 10 by 11, which we can't do because 10 is smaller than 11, so we'll show the decimal and the 0 behind the 10. This doesn't change the value of the 10, but it does allow us to continue dividing. Before we continue with dividing, we want to make sure that we get the decimal in the correct place, which means the first thing we want to do is bring the decimal straight up and place it in our quotient. Now, we're ready to do 100 divided by 11. 100 divided by 11 is 9. Notice that I placed the 9 behind the second 0 in the 100 because I divided 100 by 11, and I placed a 0 in front of the decimal. This is going to keep all my digits in the correct place. 9 times 11 is 99, and when I subtract, I get 1. Because we're wanting to turn 10/11 into a decimal, I want to continue with my division steps to see what the next digits in my decimal are going to be. That means I'm going to add a 0, and I'm going to bring it straight down. Now I'll have 10 divided by 11. 10 divided by 11 is 0. 0 times 11 is 0. When I subtract, I get 10. I'm going to add a 0. I'm going to bring that straight down. Now I have 100 divided by 11, and this is the same thing that I started my problem with. 100 divided by 11 is 9. 9 times 11 is 99, and when I subtract, I get 1. If I add another 0 and bring it down, I'll have 10 divided by 11, same step that I had several steps ago. 10 divided by 11 is 0. 0 times 11 is 0. When I subtract, I get 10. Now we can clearly see that we are going to have a repeated decimal. The 9 and the 0 in our quotient are going to be repeating. So when I show 10/11 as a decimal, I'm going to show the 90 hundredths, and I'm going to put the line over the 9 and the 0, showing that it's 90 that is repeating in my decimal. 10/11 converted to a decimal is 0.90 repeating. To convert 7/12 into a decimal, we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. So the 7 goes on the inside, the 12 goes on the outside. So we'll be dividing 7 by 12, which we can't do because 7 is smaller than 12. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is add the decimal and the 0. This is going to allow me to divide 70 by 12, and it doesn't change the value of the 7. Before I move into my division steps, however, we want to make sure that we get the decimal in the right place in the quotient, which means the first thing we want to do is bring that decimal straight up and place it in our quotient. Now we're ready to do 70 divided by 12. 70 divided by 12 is 5. Notice I've placed the 5 above the 0 because I divided 70 by 12, and I placed a 0 in front of the decimal. 70 divided by 12 is 5. 5 times 12 is 60. When we subtract, we get 10. We'll want to add a 0 and bring it straight down because we want to continue dividing. 100 divided by 12 is 8. 8 times 12 is 96. When we subtract, we get 4. We want to add another 0. We'll bring that 0 straight down. Now we have 40 divided by 12. 40 divided by 12 is 3. 3 times 12 is 36. When we subtract, we get 4. If we add a 0 and we bring it down, we'll be dividing 40 by 12 again. So this is where we can stop because that 3 is going to be repeating. So 7/12 as a decimal, we'll record it as 583 thousandths. We'll put the line above the 3 because only the 3 is repeating. So 7/12 is equal to 0.583 repeating. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ziva Math for more videos.